Before we begin, thank you very much to Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Micro Convoy on a Beanie. I should have sung that, but you don't want to hear me attempt to carry a tune. But thank you very much for pitching in on Ko-fi. That's a really fun convoy size. Thank you for that one. That one's fun. That's creative. I like that one. So there's still more different size convoys to go. Stay tuned. Okay, so normally, in order to get as many news items into the Monday News Roundup as possible, I record sometime on Monday. Well, I'm expecting my Monday to be, well, frankly, a mess. So instead, we are doing this on Sunday night, which actually means I have very little to report to you. News usually drops on Mondays, and we can usually talk about it at great detail. But it has been an exceptionally quiet news week. With really only like third-party stuff and fan creations and making any headlines. So we're gonna bulk it out a little bit with some special sightings, but thankfully, Takara came along and saved the day by making a huge slew of announcements of upcoming high-end products for us collectors. And one of them, and of course the most important one I find, that's why we're talking about it first, there is a MPG Hot Rod toy on the way. This is a big surprise, an exceptionally welcome surprise, because frankly, I don't think either Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime really nailed it when they became Masterpiece toys. Like, I found both were lacking in certain ways, but this seems to be Hot Rod, question mark. It's so hard to tell when it's all grayed out. But yeah, it seems like we're getting a brand new Masterpiece Hot Rod. And I do mean like this is brand new. It's very hard to tell because of this like grainy silhouette they went with. But we went back and checked the normal Masterpiece Hot Rodimus, and there are a few things we noticed. In particular is the spoiler, where it seems very far away from his head, because that was their solution to his engineering, was to basically just make him a shell former, which was very disappointing back then compared to the other Masterpiece toys. But we see all that shell in the back, making that back fin very far away. If we look at this one, the fin's way closer to his head, and the other thing to notice is it's tech greebled, whereas the original is completely smooth. Now, this might be Rodimus Prime, and that might explain the extra detail, but to my knowledge it is not. There was no, I know there are rumors of a new Hot Rod. I don't think there's any rumors of a Rodimus Prime. That could come later, I'm sure. But still, this is actually a really, really cool one to do. Like I said, I don't think he had a really good Masterpiece release, so third time's a charm, hopefully. And this is MPG, keep that in mind. So they are not beholden to any past Rodami. They can basically just make him an amalgamation of various hot rods that they liked and just come up with something completely fresh and new. We've had a lot of really good hot rods since then, so now they've figured them out. Masterpiece quality engineering should really nail it. Hopefully comes out in the movie accurate pink, but that's just me really wanting more hot rods in pink rather than red. But no, this was an exciting announcement, and this was just one of 4. Next up, Masterpiece movie series next. We had this silhouette, which seems weird because we already know Sideswipe's on the way. We've seen the prototype. But they're showing 2 side by side, so now we have to speculate the only obvious thing we can, that it feels like they are doing both Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon style. Meaning one is going to be a hard top, the other one is going to be a top-down convertible. And that's actually a really impressive feat of engineering if they can make both, if they can make variations of this toy and keep the same engineering, but actually include that. Keep in mind, having a top-down, a convertible model of this design means an interior has to be there. It has to be intact and it has to look good. It can't just be a mashup of robot mode bits crammed in underneath in order to get the transformation to work. It's gotta be smooth. It's got to look good. So we're now thinking This might have an interior with seats and console and steering wheel and everything, just to maintain that appearance once it gets to the alternate Dark of the Moon version. And that would be a really, really clever engineering feat if they could get this toy to look as good as it did in the prototype stage and still have a full interior. I think people underestimate just how hard it is to actually engineer that when the biggest mass on the vehicle mode cannot have any mass inside it. Look at alternators for how crazy the engineering can get sometimes. Those things were a nightmare to transform because of all the things they had to do to maintain a real world car aesthetic. Looks like they're going back to it. But still, cool to know, cool to know. Now, off of Masterpiece, let us move into the other big collector's line for Takara right now, Missing Link. We are getting Grimlock. Now, this is shocking to me because, one, I would have put money. I would have put good money on the next one being Soundwave, as there are no Decepticons in the line yet outside of a potential Nemesis Prime repaint of Optimus, which I don't think really counts. I want an actual mold, an actual toy. So going Grimlock is fascinating to me. Like, we're letting them be outnumbered even more in this toy line. We're going very Autobot heavy. But also, at the same time, Grimlock makes an incredible amount of sense. You've got alternate color schemes that would work. You know, you toy accurate, cartoon accurate like they usually do. They could go G2, they could go Marvel Comic. There's plenty of reuses, and they love to get their reuses out of these molds. The big thing for me, though, is the fact that the Grimlock mold, along with all of the Dinobots, are among the molds that we know are lost. We have no idea what happened to them after they were used in G2. They might be stored away super deep in a warehouse somewhere in China. They might be underneath like the bottom layer of a boat acting as ballast. We don't know. But to redo those molds now in Missing Link makes the perfect amount of sense because it's one of the most popular G1 characters, but they can never reissue it for any of the Encore lines. This is, again, one of those things Missing Link is for. It's a great excuse to put out a nostalgic product of something they haven't been able to because the molds no longer exist. This is a perfect use. So this just kind of begs the question, do we get the other Dinobots? When do we get the other Dinobots? Can you actually take a toy as simple as Swoop and actually make it modern articulation? We might find out. But this is going to have a lot of people excited. I'm excited for this one. Yeah, really, really cool choice. Even if it's not a Decepticon, we still need to get Decepticons into this line sooner or later. I think they're just like cold feet knowing they have to do Seekers at some point and trying to figure out how to actually engineer that. And Takara is not done. Takara is not done. So, new product series start. Transformers New Legends coming soon. So you remember that retooled Lio convoy that you'll have to excuse me. I canceled my pre-order for that because it was taking too long and I decided, well, I'm not big enough on Lio Convoy to want one for slight improvements. I can't remember if it actually ever came out. I know it kept getting delayed, but if it got canceled because Takara decided, screw it, New Legends series, Transformers Legends 2026. Okay, so I'm assuming that means Big Convoy is up next. Try to fix that one, make it a little bit closer to what Takara would imagine a modern version of that toy being, or just an excuse to release in Japan, one or the other. And what's fascinating about it being a brand new series is because if this is a whole line of New Legends, you know, they're doing Transformers Legends again. That means, once again, we are seeing Takara diverge from what Hasbro is doing. We see this with Cyberworld and Wild King. And now we might see this again. I mean, obviously, all the retools to Lio Convoy means they were already in the process of this. But if they're just going to keep on rolling with this, that's actually kind of cool. I want to see where they go with it. Yeah, it's fascinating, actually. If this becomes an entire... If they delayed Lyle Convoy to make him the first up of a whole new toy line, that'd be crazy. Awesome, but kind of crazy. So thank you to Takara Tomy for doing all these like super random teasers that we'll have to do whole videos for once these things are finally announced and we get to see these things in full color. But saving that, let's move on to some of the other stories that have come out this week. For starters, one of our favorite leakers, JT Prime 17, actually let us know that Hasbro is working on transforming Autobot and Decepticon symbol figures. So literally the Autobot and Decepticon logo are going to be Transformers. Now, you can see down there at the bottom, that little blob of red. That's the BotBots version. That's like a pixelated one, like an Autobot symbol that's on an old Nintendo or Game Boy. But this is fascinating to me. I mean, it's kind of weird. Like it's a weird idea, but at the same time, it vaguely makes sense. Like if you just want like the Autobot or Decepticon logo displayed on a shelf or a desk or something, why not? Why not make them transform? Why not come up with like an action figure version of them? That's actually kind of neat. You know, it would have been like a really cool thing to do for like the 40th anniversary. And here we are at the 40th anniversary of the original movie. But I'll take what I can get. It's a cool idea. I'm kind of excited to see what these guys are going to look like. Who knows when we're going to see it, because this is just like a very reliable leaker announcing these. So we're going to be sitting for a pretty good length of time in order to actually see what they've got cooking. Moving on. So the Transformers Authentic Core series, or Transformers Core, whatever they're calling it. Remember the tiny turbo changers that got revealed were going to be part of the line? Yeah, they're just repaints of the existing ones. I was actually kind of hoping they would start throwing a whole bunch of new characters in there, ones they haven't done before, but it seems like a whole bunch of Cyberverse leftovers, and they're just kind of like painted up to look a little bit more G1. So we have the Soundwave, we have the Grimlock. I want to say this Grimlock had like an off-white, like a cream white and teal one that I actually thought looked really cool, and I kind of wanted. No, wait, no, it was the movie one. Scratch that. It's the movie one that did that. Still, tiny Grimlock. Have that. Tiny Whirl. It's neat to see that Whirl's getting any kind of toy, even if it is just a rerun. There's Alita. There's Hot Rod. There is Shockwave. Craziest one out of the batch. Like, look at how like weird that has to contort to get his like spider tank mode. Just make him a spaceship. It's so much easier. Black Arachnia. Wheeljack. Megatron, complete with the mace ball that was on all the toys for him during Cyberverse. And then if we look at the arrangement here, we have a few others, including RC, Ratchet, Skybite, of all things. Also, didn't show the Bumblebee or Starscream. You would think those would be included in all this. Now you can see the Bumblebee right there. And like I said, these are just repaints of the old ones, meaning there's really nothing you're missing out on. You just look up the old ones, you're going to see this exact thing. But neat that they're coming out again for anyone who missed them. Like, they're innocent little blind bag collectibles. Nothing really wrong with them. You know, they make a good desk size fiddle toy. So, no real complaints. Just kind of odd that it's just all the old molds, just rehashed. I don't know. Seems like at this point they've made enough money on those they could, you know, justify doing a whole new run. Let's get into a couple of sightings that are interesting. So, if you're in Hong Kong, you can already find the brand new Devastation Bumblebee and Transformers 1 Orion Pax molds that just got revealed by Takara. This is kind of crazy fast for them to show up anywhere, given that we just found out they exist. So this also confirms, like anytime Takara does an announcement, my concern is like, wait, what is it? What if Takara is just the one releasing this and we don't get it? But no, this basically confirms we're going to get these. These are your 2026 A-level figures, meaning, you know, those those endless amounts of Optimus Primes and Bumblebees that are flooding your Walmarts, well, get ready, because they're going to dump all of those to the liquidation stores and bring in more Optimus Primes and Bumblebees that are going to flood your stores all year. But that said, they both look pretty good. I believe, if I remember right, the vehicle mode on the Orion is a little bit rough, but the robot mode is way nicer than the previous ones. Looks really, really good. The Bumblebee is this like unintentional, like modern version of Classics Bumblebee, and I kind of love that. So ultimately, it's kind of cool to see them. I don't expect them to do that well because we've been doing like A level for what, this will be year number 3, and they always shelf warm. So yeah, and I don't think a Transformers 1 Orion Pax is such a good call when the last time you did the Transformers 1 Optimus, it didn't do that well either. But they're meant to do that. They're meant to collect dust on a store shelf and make sure those major characters are always available. So at least we know we're getting them in the US. At least we know they're out there. Also, something that got spotted. We've already found the new Thundercracker. How? Where was this? Destin Walmart in Florida. Florida either has like the worst distribution or the craziest luck with distribution. There's no in between. We never get things when everybody else does, which would be okay. We either have like the first sighting of something, or it's just nowhere. You're looking at the one who has like the TFW sighting for like the Tails Sonic 2-pack, because my Target just ended up putting them out like 2 weeks early. But it's crazy that Thundercracker is already available. The Alpha Trion can be found too. But yeah, like, did you wait? Did you wait too long to put your Seekers on eBay? It's too late. It's too late. General public, Joe Schmo, casual fan is going to know this exists now. Start watching those values drop. Still kind of cool that he comes out when Skybound's giving him so much love. Kind of appropriate. Okay, let's get into the usual stuff to round us off, the weird stories of the week. So Yolo Park posted a quick video showing off their translucent reformatting Megatron. I believe this is the bonus you get if you buy the entire box as a pre-order. Similar to the translucent Hound I showed you in the last set of these that I reviewed. So if you want that reformatting Megatron, that's the only way to get it. It's a cool little thing to add to your collection. There's my concerns with translucent plastic aside. We'll just have to see if time is gentle to this. But no, it's neat to see. Also from Yolo Park AMK mini line, they are doing a BotCon exclusive Ricochet, which looks nice. It's, obviously it's just a repaint of Jazz, but it's a pretty good looking repaint. They did the thing that's appropriate with Ricochet, which is to swap out the all gold face for a yellow visor and gold face. I like how it pops and stands out there. I have my personal grievances with BotCon and the people who seem to be running it these days, so we're just going to acknowledge this thing's existence and move on. We're going to finish off with something I normally don't talk about, which is fan-created projects, but this is not just any old project. So this is a fan comic by super animated fan Kian Carlisle, and is the first of 4 parts that is going to explore what was to be the Shattered Glass animated universe and give us like the closest we can get to actually experiencing what that was actually going to be. And it is co-written by Marty Eisenberg, the writer of Transformers Animated. So if anyone's going to be able to make this as accurate as it was, as it could possibly be to what they originally envisioned for these canceled episodes, there you go. There you go. And we know Derek loved doing the Shattered Glass recolors and drawings of everybody. So no doubt in my mind, a lot of his work is going to be here, potentially for the first time. We never know what those guys dug up out of archives. Like I said, I don't normally talk about fan projects, but this is a really special one. There's a lot of meaning behind it, and I've met Kian Carlisle. We are brothers in Derek Wyatt Swindles. He has the loose one. I have the inbox one. So cool guy, cool project. Wanted to shout it out. So yeah, these are the first teaser images. I do not believe these are up for pre-order yet, but yeah, it will. Yeah, I guess you will find out. Yeah, just go follow Kian. He'll let you know. And that's the news for the week. And somehow I still got this to 20 minutes despite basically having nothing to work with. Yay, my mouth. I need to end before my brain goes anywhere else. I shouldn't do these late at night, should I? So, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.